What happened last week in the world of business?
Lots of things. The biggest is AEF is coming up very soon. Yes.
What is inside there?
God. Creepy.
Castlevania like 4?
So Amnesia Fortnight is when we take a break from what we're doing for 2 weeks, forget what we're working on before, and split the company into small groups, and they each have 2 weeks to make a game.
Oh my God. That's so fucked up.
And we got to test, 4 junior project leaders.
Yeah,
audio thing?
What is that
That's
thing?
awesome, right?
It's cool.
It also just generates a lot of ideas that have turned into some of our best games, like Costume Quest and Stacking, Once Upon a Monster, and Iron Brigade. A lot of our games have come from Amnesia Fortnight. I have gotten a bunch of pitches in my office already. We filmed them, and it just reminded me of why I love Amnesia Fortnight, because it's just like this huge explosion of creativity, and we find out like everybody in the office has an idea. Look at this gaming shit.
He's like always on the floor, so like.
I love that setup. Of
There's a lot of
characters
things.
only on the ceiling.
Yeah, I do too.
It's a musical action RPG where you sing to save the world.
Sing to save the world.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Survive in a dynamic ecosystem where your actions impact the evolution of other species.
Oh, you're the natural selector.
Before preparing and plating a meal that will prevent giant ravenous gods from eating the human race.
Are you feeding the gods?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's based around like,
Giant plants.
well, small plants, but they feel big.
Tell me your game pitch. Do you have a one-liner?
No, I don't have one-liner.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Too good for one-liners. Let's
No,
hear
not
it.
too good for one-liners.
hear
We
it.
just haven't gotten to it yet. I mean, basically, one-liner is like a social cooperative WarioWare in VR.
A lot of good ones on here. Derek Brand.
Hello.
Hello. Good
Hi.
to see you. Good to see you. Welcome back. This is not your first time in the office.
No.
You've in fact pitched and run an Amnesia Fortnight project before.
Yeah.
Mnemonic.
Yes.
Mnemonic.
Remembered.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was cool.
You got picked
It was
before.
fun.
What was that like, pitching and then getting picked?
It was terrifying.
I think that's a nice sign that Derek is doing it again, because he had been thrown into the lion's den of leading a project when he never led that before. He's a really quiet person who mostly just sticks to himself and just does his thing. And here he was put in charge of a project and being filmed and having Brad on his team who's very the opposite, very boisterous and outspoken.
What would Brad do? That's what I ask myself all the time. What would Brad do?
I would probably look really hard in the mirror and be like, I've never fucking made a story-based game in my life. What the fuck am I doing right now?
Me neither.
So then you take a deep breath and you be like, fake it till you make it, and just keep, do it. Just start doing it.
And he went through all that, and he wants to do it again, which I think is a great sign, because even though it was hard, he still found it valuable, I guess, in some way.
The game that I would like to pitch you is I have different names for it, but right now it's called Empty Vessel. And it's a game where you use a unique pottery wheel mechanic where you craft these little golem warriors that you then control into battle.
On a wheel?
Yeah, you make them on the wheel, and then you control them into battle against each other in like a multiplayer team-based game.
There's a kill over in the side.
Yeah.
That should be the name of the game. Kill with an
Kill? Oh, that's pretty good. I'm looking for a name.
Or Pottery Harm.
Potter.
Right? There's another great.
Thank you.
Yeah. No matter what your position is, if you've pitched a game and gotten feedback on it and seen what people thought of it, just getting that out of your system helps you a lot. It teaches you a lot. And it kind of like gets the crusty grime out of the end of the pipe, the creativity pipe your ideas come out of. You just gotta keep ideas moving. I feel like sometimes momentum is more important than loving this, I have this crusty thing on the end of the pipe that's just gonna be someday a perfect thing, and I'm gonna do it. And you're just in love with your ideas, and I think you just gotta share them with people and have them get either developed or shot down so that you can move on, because creativity is this endless process you should do every day of your life. I just figured out that Amnesia Fortnight is the best thing ever by saying that out loud. Okay.
We're up. Okay, we're up. Okay, good.
It's time for Amnesia Fortnight.
Perfect. It's all working. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know who's going to win. I haven't cast my own vote yet. I need to. It's going to be political, though. Like, Greg will see my vote.
Oh, gosh, it feels like literally anything can get picked.
I'm a little nervous just because I think I might claw my face off if I was picked, but in a good way.
since we went public, it's all very clearly high stakes, and I know that creates a lot of stress for people, but I feel like it makes everybody step up. It makes like some of the best final products we've had, and I feel bad because it's not, you know, Amnesia Fortnight is not here to make people miserable. That's just a side benefit of it.
Winning is like a really exciting, awesome thing, but also comes with like this huge pile of stress, and so.
Sorry.
Like having led a project in AF before, I also know how super stressful it is for the everyone involved, but also especially the project lead. So, yeah, I'm kind of going into it as like any news is going to be good news.
I've thought about it for a long time, but actually, I feel like I made my selection the moment it was pitched. As soon as it was pitched, I was like, oh god, I think that's the one I'm going to pick. Time to announce our official selections.
Is this called Bad Golf?
Couldn't possibly. So first we're going to start with the hardest decision, my decision, the executive decision. But the game that I picked was one that I just thought was really it was cool, it was experimental, and it was really new, but it was also, I could see it was really simple, and I could see us making an actual really, really fun game in 2 weeks. And that's, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. Zach McClendon. Come on up here, Zach. The internal. Now it's time to see who you all voted for. But your official selection for the internal vote is Kiln by Derek Brand. Yeah, Derek Brand. Come on up, sir. Hey. Good job, good job. And now the external voting. My heart is pounding a little bit. Darwin's Dinner, Devin Kelly Sneed. And the final one, oh, this can't be right. This breaks a lot of rules. The Gods Must Be Hungry, Asif Siddiqui. Holy cow. Come on, Asif. Come here. Come here. Take.
The fourth wall just crumbled.
We don't even know if he shows up on videotape. Stay over here. No, you don't get to hide anymore. And you're going to learn about your friends. Your friends at Two Player Productions are probing, and they're going to be putting you on the spot. Yeah, Chad. All right, you only have 2 weeks. Get to work. Okay, bye.
Idea for Bob Trouble. Hello. Friday was Amnesia Fortnight Madness, and today will be Amnesia Fortnight Madness for me. Really? Yes, as I try to I have to go write a presentation to give to the team, to give to the future team, my darling future team. Also today,
welcome. This is the next stage in our Amnesia Fortnight process where we've selected our games that we're making, and the project leaders of those games are going to come up here and tell the team at Double Fine about what those games are in more detail, and the team gets asked some questions because they're going to leave this room and they're going to go indicate which game they would most like to work on, and then we'll start the process of assigning the teams and breaking up into 4 groups.
Hello, everyone. So my game, which you probably heard of, is called I Have No Idea What I'm Doing. I subtitled it here, a VR parlor game. So like a parlor game is like charades or 20 questions or something that you would play in a mixed group of people. It's really easy to get into. It's very rules light. It's silly. It's fun. You can kind of play it with anyone, anywhere, which was sort of my goal for making this concept. And the idea is that one player is in VR, and they're thrown into a variety of strange and disorienting situations where they have no idea what they're supposed to do, or in fact, like who they actually are. And then the people outside out of VR, all the rest of your friends, are given clues that help give them some of the information about what you need to do, but they also need you to describe kind of what you're seeing and where you are, and I'm in a forest, and I think I might be a bear or whatever. And then you have to kind of yell back and forth to try to figure out what to do in a very short amount of time. It's basically just a minigame collection at the end of the day, a VR minigame collection. But within that, there's just a lot of open-endedness for each one of those interactions. And then there's just other like logistical stuff of like we're developing for VR. It takes a lot of like startup time. It's hard to test stuff at your desk. So that whole like logistic part of it also is going to be a big drain on the project.
So game setting, you are on an island with creatures. Those creatures, within a species, they have natural variation among various traits, size, speed, spikiness, things like that. And you can hunt the creatures to collect food. But the important there is the genetic algorithms for passing on the traits that are still present in the surviving population. I mean, I'm not sure it's going to work at all. I think we can make it work, but like, it could all go wrong, and that's fine. I don't think it would be as interesting of a concept to prototype if we knew it was going to work.
Okay, hello. This is Kiln. Hi. First of all, I wanted to thank you guys for voting for Kiln. I'm glad you saw some potential in this weird-ass project, and I can't wait to work on it with you. Just as an overview, this is a third-person game, multiplayer, team-based brawler. And you have two teams, and you play as these little useless spirits. And this is a magic pottery wheel that your little spirit can use to craft a body for himself that he can go and try to beat up the other side.
And the way that we're going to do that is to take this idea of mini games and make them huge. And you're going to be small within that, and you will be running around and guiding the ingredients through these ridiculous cooking contraptions in order to get them ready for plating. I'll be honest, I don't really know exactly what I need, just because I have not done this before, ever. But this is sort of what I'm turning in. And yeah, I am pretty much a baby at game design. So anyone who wants to step in and work on that with me and making this fun, I could really use your help.
But just by having observed game development for the past however long it's been, number of years, that you have a slightly better expectation of how things happen and how it'll come together.
Yeah, I mean, you would think so, right? And just like, I can watch every episode of CSI and I have no idea how to like solve an actual crime. So I think what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks is going to be the real learning experience.
Asif's trying to hide behind the camera. Come this way. Come here. This way, Asif. Yeah, this side. This side. See that? Look at that. Right there. Look at that. See that? Please summon your first team member in the most dramatic way possible. That wasn't very bad. Yeah, Ryan. Zach. Aaron. Yep. All right. Where's Devin?
Sayo. Jeremy to do that.
Rusty.
Oh, that was awkward.
Tim, you want to come over here?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would, but it sounds hard. All right. May the odds be ever in your favor.
So, it's AF again.
Yeah.
You're here.
Yeah. Yeah, and helping out with whatever.
Are you going to work on, which projects are you going to work on, all of them?
Whatever anyone wants me to do. I was kind of hoping to do some like background rocks in Kiln. I think that would be cool. And I've been doing concept for Gods Must Be Hungry.
A lot of stuff is a little bit alien to me, especially like where 3D lighting is concerned, and stuff like that. And I felt like I had maybe 5 different things that I needed to do and time enough to do 2 of them. It wasn't like a lot of busy work, it was a lot of like giving people direction on stuff. I've turned the cooking process into something physical. So not abstracting it with a mini game, but physically carrying stuff around, manipulating them in the pan, running them through like giant blades if you need to chop them. Everyone here is amazing and they know that like I need help, so like they're taking a lot of ownership over their respective roles, and that's helping a lot too.
So we can end up having like screens and modern technology, but as long as there's like the old stuff there as well.
Yeah, I really like that a lot.
That'll be good.
Just having like a clay oven or something
Yeah.
would be pretty rad. I'll pick your brain and pick a face.
Face. This one has a mask. It's got a lot of accessories. I know you want this one.
Yeah.
So do you want to just do this one?
Let me see the other one again.
We had a really great brainstorm, generated lots and lots of ideas, so I have to go through that and figure out what the things we're going to build as sort of pilot content. You're a vampire and you're trying to do your makeup, but you can't see your face. So how do vampires do their makeup?
Ooh. That's a good one. Actually, that's great. What if you had to paint your face and the people were telling you a little over to the left, and the people on the outside could see what you're doing?
And also Pendleton Ward showed up and came to our brainstorm and did some little doodles of stuff, and that was a pleasant surprise.
You're going to see an old lady in a chair, and you're a ghost. You might be able to have enough time to recognize that you're transparent, and then you're just going to go like this. And then you're going to scare the person, right? 30 seconds? Well, I guess 30 seconds can last longer.
All right, so wait, and then Anna had one. And then we actually do have to be done, because
okay.
I don't want to
Yeah,
do this
it's
forever.
fine.
What I'd like to do is, like, all right, let's get the one more first.
No, it's fine.
Do it. What is it? What is it? It could be the best idea. It could be the. All right.
So yeah, one core feature for our game is that we need to have interaction between the person who's in VR and the people who are outside. And so one way of doing that would be rendering one scene for the person in the VR headset and then show something completely different on the TV. Being day one, it's not too bad, but I'm hoping to get this taken care of sooner rather than later because everything depends on it pretty heavily.
Emily and our team worked on kind of an initial art direction. You actually see it, if you see it on my screen, this sort of like very, very bold, flat colors, not a lot of detail, texture, and material work, kind of going for like, rubberized plastic sort of look, like plasticine clay, which should look like very iconic, very bold shapes, very easy to see, also very easy to make.
Jeff was building a world. Silvio set up the basic project, which kind of dropped a default character in. Gabe spent some time working on tuning the camera, so we got kind of the camera angle that we're looking for. And then we've just had a whole bunch of meetings to kind of plan out things that we want to do.
Silvio's still wrestling with like getting the light maps to build, so
yeah, he's having problems with Incredibuild on the build machine too.
This is what our environment looks like right now.
I walked by like 10 minutes ago, and it was great because like on this screen you had this, and on the other screen there was like search results like, why is my landscape black?
Yeah. Like things like this look simple, but are deceptively difficult to make in 3D.
Yeah, and so I'm much more concerned about us being able to make the stuff because we only have 2 weeks. Like, if that seems impossible, don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't have room for like multiple impossible tasks on one project.
Yeah.
There's so much noise.
Yeah.
Like this nice quiet high.
I know, it's so quiet. You guys were in your meeting this morning briefly?
Yeah.
It's very quiet.
Yeah. Nice quiet team.
Yeah, it is quiet team. I like it. It's a good quiet team. Yeah, the bong wins again.
The idea starts with one person's experiences and knowledge and creative influence, and then when there's a team working on it, you then get everybody's ideas kind of coming together, and that person helps filter it. I wouldn't pressure anything that Derek wasn't comfortable with, so we're kind of building this tree of possibility space of where all the possible games that could be made from that core idea, and he's trimming the tree as we're going. So it's fun to explore that.
How do you guys feel about like having there be like an objective about carrying water versus just trying to destroy the other teams? There were some
water was essentially like
like the flag in a CTF map, right? Like there's a fountain that has water, and you
Yeah,
grab
if there's
it,
a fountain or a waterfall in the center,
and you grab it, and then you have to get to the fountain, and then get to their base.
then get to their
dump the
base
thing in.
and dump it. I wasn't sure what to expect. I've never made a game like this at all. Never made a multiplayer game, for one, and I've never made a game that relied on physics at all. And I've never made a game, really. I've been a concept artist, not a game. So I'm just kind of going in and trusting the people that I'm working with.
How's everybody feeling? Everybody's really quiet. Is it because their cameras are here, or is it because we're looking at a broken game? Is the camera? There's a strong chance we just go down a rabbit hole on basic bugs, and I feel like that demonstrates amazing progress. Can somebody write down get physics working on the hands as a task?
Probably be under the whole get physics working.
I mean, it seems like it seems like
all related.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right. Well, then you'll get both tasks, and you'll be able to do both of them at once. It'll be very exciting.
Did you detect fun just now when you were playing the game? Where you're like, I'm having fun?
No, not yet. I think the thing I'm waiting for is when we actually get the sort of social fun of people outside of VR yelling at somebody in VR who's doing something ridiculous and they're laughing back and forth. Any wake-up calls about what we're making, we'll get those pretty fast because they'll be like total randos, not total randos. Our lovable coworkers will be playing our game and giving us quality, stern feedback on the product as we go. So we're getting there. Got a little floppy fly swatter. Oh, it's like jointed. It's like it's weird. It needs a little help. Yeah, it does. We'll get there. It's fine. I have to leave today and tomorrow at 5 because my wife is out of town, so I have to pick the kids and feed them and all the rest of that stuff. I will be in on Sunday, just trying to do catch up and work ahead.
So, seemed like a good day. Had a pretty productive meeting in the morning.
The meeting this morning was very productive. Yeah, I guess we can just go through this first one, and then stop me if anything sounds crazy to you, or like we can't do that, or I have an amazing idea for how to do this. Starting with the shrimp car wash.
Sounds crazy to me.
Oh, all right. Meeting's over.
You want to give a certain amount of dose of like, wait, I'm not sure if we want to do that, but you don't want to do that too much because then it really stems like the creative output, especially at the beginning of the project, and like that's not a good way to go either.
Now I feel like everyone knows what they're doing, and everyone's just sort of off and doing that.
Has this been harder than the documentary, if for Amnesia Fortnight specifically?
No, because that was insane. No one should do that. I don't know why you guys are doing it. I think the biggest difference is that despite how busy it is and how much there is going on and how stressed I feel sometimes, like there are also the moments where I get to like have that like creative rush, and it's easy to get sort of high off of that. Whereas like when we were doing the doc, like we're just like in this weird zombie state because we're not sleeping, and like even though I know that I've edited the episode that I just shot yesterday to my satisfaction, I'm still super tired and just like not here. The only thing that like I would say that I don't think we've ever gotten on camera is just finding like a secluded corner somewhere just to like hide for 5 minutes. I needed to do that today for sure. I just like went upstairs to the floor above us and just like stood in the hallway for a few minutes and didn't like look at my phone or like think about anything. And then I came back and it was fine. I'm having a lot more sympathy for everyone that's like led the projects before, and for Tim especially.
Question for two-player, how much has Austin changed? Is he a big time in you guys now? Sitting in the big bro chair?
Sometimes I just come into that room and just take a what? I was gonna say something, but I realized I was being filmed.
Take a big note.
What's Jared doing back there?
He's muddling butts. I can't stop him.
So many butts.
He's unstoppable.
I got some butt cheek Sam on them.
Matt got some work done on the pottery tech, so we can make
Pots go! Pots go!
That's great.
That was kind of fun.
That was awesome. It was hard not to laugh.
I had a smile on my face.
Oh, God.
You were here last time when Derek led a project.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've observed him? Has he?
Dude, that guy's chill as hell right now. Last time he was chill, but you could see him just being like, I'm not sure. And then this time, every time he talks to me, he has like the calmness in his eyes of like, a spiritual leader. He's like, thanks for coming and working here. Thanks a lot.
You're wearing this?
Yes. Well, I'm running out of shirts.
Trying to impress Penn.
Actually, I didn't. I forgot about that. But no, I mean, I just running out of shirts. Gotta put on something.
Do you think there's a reason you're not meeting as much as the other teams? Is it just due to the nature of the game, or is it because it's a more programmer-centric game?
Yeah, I don't think there's as many unknowns. This game has a lot of mechanics that are kind of known quantities that we can just get up and running quickly without having to figure it out. We know how to do basic attacks and how to pick things up and drop them. It doesn't need like a brainstorm meeting to figure that stuff out.
Are you happy with the art style you ended up with, Jeff?
I mean, I think if it was a different project, I would have probably done things a little differently. But in the time we have right now, I'm okay with it. The only, nobody's really saying no to the shit I'm dicking around with. So there's far more shine in this demo than anything we've done in Psychonauts. So that's nice.
You like shiny?
No, not necessarily, but we're really clamping it hard in Psychonauts. Just because that's the style of game. It's nice to sort of work outside of that and just work on something different for a little while.
It's fun, and then the creatures, they're actually going to have a bunch of different parts, and this will be like the base body, and then we'll actually swap out different pieces because they evolve, right? So they have evolutionary traits. So they hold on, someone's knocking at my office door. I'm being interviewed. Bye. Hi. So no, it's a different feeling doing AF not there.
I bet, yeah.
So I mean, it's still fun, but it's definitely doesn't have the energy that you get when you're actually on site.
So this would be the point where you come in and you cry and you say like it was a big mistake. You wish you had never signed up for this. It's all falling apart. Won't I stop it? And then I say, cheer up, right? Okay, so go.
I think everything's okay.
Sorry, documentary guys.
So I have another question. Sorry for all these questions.
So what I would like to do in the mornings is review what we did yesterday, see where we are. If there's things that people call out of like, we have to do this right now, let's add a task. If it's just general discussion about like, hey, what are we gonna do about, we should note it, and we'll do it after we finish sort of where we are. Yeah, the short version, we make the game not broken, and then we can add polishy stuff, all the polishy stuff later.
All right, so yeah, what we're trying to do is get text to show up on our TV. Okay, this first
Hit
text
pickle
shows up.
with racket.
Hit pickle with racket.
Oh, Jesus.
Riveting narrative.
Wait, why are you throwing apples?
What did you do?
Game development is a very serious job.
Oh, wait. I forgot. That's my bad. Okay, you can run it again.
Okay.
Please don't make me the bad guy of this documentary. I really don't want to be the heel.
And we got, James got all the scripting hooked up for it, but this was our first test of actually like running it at all, and it doesn't work yet. So we had our giant brainstorm and had, I don't know, 100 ideas that were all over the map. And then as a team, we sat down and tried to figure out which ones we'd actually want to build. Speed, but on a butter churn. This is basically you've got a butter churn, you've got two butter churns, and you have to you've got two butter churns, and you have to churn butter, and then you get feedback on this one has to go faster, and this one has to go slower.
I know what the feedback is.
And so you do fast. Yeah, butter churn.
No, you're chafing. You're chafing.
It's a very embarrassing game. That's the point. That is the point. Yeah, because embarrassment is funny.
That one's clearly a winner. It's clearly a winner. And so, like, one of them you have to go slow, and the other one you have to go fast. Oh my god!
Different strokes for different folks.
Dun, 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 dun. I came in today feeling pretty rested, and now I don't feel that way at all. So, yeah. So while I know that a lot got done today, I just felt like, what did we do today? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that when I go back and like look at the Slack, there's actually like a ton of stuff that got done, but this was the fastest feeling day by far.
Melina arrived today as well.
Mm-hmm.
What's she going to be doing on the project?
Like right away, she hit the ground running, sitting down with Spaff and like hashing out like the initial direction that I gave them for writing the characters and all the dialogue and stuff.
I have a desk, but I haven't sat in it once, which is awesome because at home I'm pretty much tethered to my desk. What I saw in today's meeting looked really great, and I feel like, or I hope that we're at that point where shit just starts going in and it gets exponentially better.
I guess maybe picking one of them up, that's probably aren't big enough, but whatever, I'm just starting to stub things in based on some of the cool concepts that have been done. And of course, like I mentioned, we got Paul's initial steamer basket in, so that's it's fun to see stuff happening.
What's going on? Why are you the only person building stuff?
That is a good question. Made a bread dough ball, some nori sheets. I think he had full confidence that I was going to be able to do everything. So.
And Penn too. He was saying like he's leaving tomorrow. He's going back home, but he said that he's happy to just continue modeling stuff from home for us. So we're really lucky to have him do that. By the end of the week, we can have all of like the major props in. So we'll see how that stuff's looking, and you know, I think it's just going to get crazy in the last 2 days next week.
Man, what's happening here? This looks great.
Perfect. And cut. And cut.
It's hard to sort what actually got done, so maybe we could just go around and we could talk about what got done yesterday. The game got running, which is awesome. You guys solved the major mysteries of why things were not working.
Yes.
Sitting through the meetings and seeing the programmers freaking out about VR and getting these things to work, does it make you glad that you're not a programmer?
I never want to be a programmer. Never, ever. It's all magic to me. My brain doesn't function well enough anymore to be a programmer.
No,
Which ones do you guys want to play?
Whatever's working.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is, it's here.
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can
you
change
see,
the opposite,
does the periscope work?
Yeah.
I have no right hand, but
Yes. You
so
have
I can't
a
see the
periscope.
periscope sees.
We still don't have one actual game up and running. If we don't get it working fast enough, we won't have enough time to actually polish and make it good. And so the biggest risk would be it's a big pile of nonsense garbage at the end. Just the usual problems.
But don't you think at the end you'd be able to say like, "Hey, I told you guys."
Yeah, exactly. Like
I have no idea what I'm doing.
I know. I've got my ass covered.
It was literally in my pit.
That's right.
Might as well called it "Don't pick this game."
Don't pick this game,
Tim.
Tim.
Yeah, this is my personal pick, so you can't mess this up.
Yeah, I mean this is not testable in this state.
Wait,
so.
why is the hand?
Yeah, the hand is below. Without figuring out that scale, that is very specific, it's unplayable.
Okay, so this is what I'm confused about. So the offset
I'm
is
confused
like
too.
you're just setting a water line to the eye height.
If we
and
did
then-
that, you wouldn't be able to reach any of the islands. Unless they were all tiny and right next to you.
Yeah, I get what you mean by that.
Why is I don't get what you mean by that.
Yeah, but I mean, this is This is what you have to do.
Well, no, I mean this is what you have to do. Like you're just looking about like if this was the water line and I can't see what's up here and I'm doing this and I pick up this. I guess I'm worried that we're just talking about different things.
No, I think we're talking about the same thing, and there may be some sort of limitation with the hand tracking that makes that really hard to do without making things a tiny scale. Like, it's weird, but...
I'm confused as to what the periscope sees right now. Why are there no islands and no water and...
It's down under for some reason.
All right. Well, I mean, we've sort of seen everything we can see. This is just talking about this one particular one, so. That was our playtest for today.
I'm sure we'll figure it out when we sit down and actually try to place it. So, what are you doing with the racket? You said the racket was broken.
You have to grab it and it should go to the next task.
Well, did you grab the racket?
Yes.
Let's do that again.
Okay.
something was broken and they were going to have to redo a bunch of things again.
From scratch?
I don't know. I didn't understand. I wasn't getting all of the details. I was also trying to do work.
Is this going to aid in your?
It's going to be a
project
disaster.
leading? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more of this. There's more whiskey.
I know. I'm looking forward to it.
Family that crafts Irish whiskey.
So when you really like trying to figure out what the difference between the disciplines of folks who make video games, the undeniable one is that programmers cannot program while drinking. Whereas artists and designers are like, we're okay.
So you just basically drunk all day? Is that how you crank out all that art?
That's how Lee does
So you
it.
keep the lines I wish it works really well in video games. You're like, I just wanted to stay loose with this, so I just checked in this polygon soup and clicked a button. Someone else fixed this shit.
Headlander.
So something we definitely observed is that Sylvia was frustrated about something, and we're afraid to ask him what that is.
Actually, I'm not sure specifically what problems he was looking at today. I know there was something to do with audio that he was trying to take care of, and I think he got that solved.
There were multiple issues, but the main one for today was that we are the first team that to get dialogue in. So even though no teams had it working, we were the first ones to try and get it to work, and that took a while. It took a while because we had to deal with a little bit, my unfamiliarity with the WISE interface, for instance, and the audio guys' unfamiliarity with our scripting, our scripts to actually build the audio build. So we had a problem that no one really had the whole picture. And that took a while to figure out.
We need to make Bancraft still for voice and everything in Unreal, so once that starts fixed, let us know, and then we'll plug that in, and then voice should start working again. Okay. Or working for the first time, I should say. Now that we know the problem, the hard part's over, but now I'm pretty behind on all the stuff I was supposed to do today. Just had this fat list. It's crack my knuckles and was getting ready to work, and then I got pulled into this for the whole day.
Anytime that I'm not actively hitting the keyboard, I'm wasting time. I'm already here late every day. I don't know right now if I'm leaving in 10 minutes or in an hour and 10 minutes.
Do you feel like you have an obligation to Devin to put those hours in, or make sure you're not wasting any time?
No, not so much to Devin, but I feel an obligation to the spirit of a game jam to put in as much time as I can. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Maybe around another hour or so?
I think so. Yeah, I think I take around 9:40.
Such a compressed timeline compared to a normal development cycle, where a couple hours is equivalent to a couple days or a couple weeks on a normal project. So every moment counts. I made this pot smash dust effect. I've probably spent an hour or less on it, and as soon as not having it versus having it is just night and day difference in terms of how the game feels and how exciting it is.
Still waiting on a full playable game, but I feel like we're getting closer every day, so that's good.
Seeing stuff come together visually, even if it's maybe not the most important part of the game, I think is super motivating to other people on the team, and they can see that the game is actually going to become something. So yeah, that's what that's all about.
Your effects blueprint looks kind of elaborate.
Oh, this is the clay material. It's kind of a mess. This is what happens in Amnesia Fortnight. Don't worry about that.
Have you been aware of what Jeremy Mitchell has been doing?
Yeah, effects stuff. Jeremy's been doing cool effects.
Did this just look even better? Did it just become
better or worse?
Really cool?
It just got awesome over here.
Oh man. No, keep it off. Keep it off.
This is going in my demo reel for sure. This shot. Thanks, Derek.
How are you guys feeling about implementing the water mechanic at this point?
Yeah, we don't want to start adding water until combat is registering properly across the whole multiplayer thing, and
I don't know. I keep going back and forth on that. On one hand, it'd be really great to have another mode, game mode, the water game mode thing. But then also it's we only have, now we have 3 days left. I don't know if that's going to happen right now.
It's all right.
Hey,
Filmmaking, it's easy. Not like games. Games is hard.
Games are hard.
Asif.
Food movies are hard.
Siddiqui, or Sid, as you like to be called.
Yes, Timmy Shafe.
You could try.
T-shape.
It'll never
I'm still
stick.
trying to make that one stick.
T-shape?
Yeah, T-shape.
I've never heard anyone call me T-shape.
I just call you that every single time I see you. I'm sure that I have.
All right, Sid. Anyway, how do you feel?
Overall, like, I am pretty at peace with, like, you know, the prototype just being what it is.
But you're still going to try and make it good, right?
Of course.
It went from having a lot of just simple geometry. You can see over there, it used to all look like that probably 2 days ago. And then everything got a coat of texture paint.
What's your process for putting materials together on a timeline like this?
Quick and dirty. Start off with a hand-painted texture that I do in Photoshop. So I went with this kind of, it's kind of a Miyazaki style, simple kind of crazy plated metal.
Yeah, it's got a ton of character right now, even with just the few things that he's done. I mean, that's credit to Levi, you know, and to Paul as well for the way the props were modeled. You know, I was expecting something much simpler given the amount of time that we had, so the fact that he was able to, like, achieve so much with so little was really inspiring and just very gratifying to see. And the machines are working the way that they're intended to so far. So yeah, that stuff is amazing, and thanks, Brian, for doing that. You're the man. Cool.
I love it. It's really, yeah, things are happening. Stuff's coming together. It feels really good. People are doing pretty great work right now. I'm pretty excited to see everything as it's coming in. Like, it might be a little bit of a video game now. Just a little bit. That's key.
Okay, I just want to do a quick state of the state on like where we are as a project, which is that nothing is working right now. We don't have really any particular game up and running in a reliable way, and we do not have the content in for most of the games. I feel like we're doing a pretty good job on art asset production, but most of our 8 mini games do not actually have their logic implemented. We don't have all the object types we need. We don't have the tool types we need. And most importantly, the network second screen stuff is now disconnecting. So we basically need to get that fundamental thing, because if the second screen does not work, we don't have a game at all. If we can't get that fixed today, I think there's almost no way that we could actually get the rest of the content implemented in 3 days.
I believe in us.
I believe in us too.
No pressure.
Do you guys want to break and go start drilling into that right now while we go update on all the other stuff?
I bet you it's this.
Really?
Oh yeah. No. Okay.
Oh,
so
is this?
Wait. Stop. What? Let me see.
I want to disconnect it.
Stop. Let me see. Disconnect that node. Just see what happens.
No.
Nope. It's all broke there too.
But we were doing this yesterday.
I don't know. I was getting the same behavior.
This
I was getting
yesterday.
the same behavior in World Text Actor, which doesn't make any sense.
With all the technical hurdles, is it disheartening to have to keep doing all this stuff, not knowing if it's actually going to turn into a game eventually?
Nah, not really. Like, because I mean, I have a lot of faith in Aaron and Amy, and they're just chugging away, doing whatever they can. For me, swinging around a floppy steak is funny enough in itself, you know, like just being in those worlds, like the stupid tennis hell stuff, like just going into that space and laughing at it for the first time is something, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out information from people if there's ever been an Amnesia Fortnight game that just didn't land. It's like anybody that just comes in where it's like at the end of the day, it's just like literally a garbage pile train wreck. I was in a dark place yesterday. I was like, this is all not going to land. Because it's just, I mean, it's sort of a weird thing. Like, for me, the point of prototyping is like prove something out one way or the other, and you can succeed or fail, which means failure is an option. Like, failure is actually a good thing. If it fails, like, okay, great, that didn't work. But if that's because of technical issues, like that are solvable in the long run,
I'm sure you guys will figure it out.
That's what everybody says. And I hope we do, but I've also done this enough times. Sometimes you don't figure it out. Like, you can't just rely on like, oh, you know, well, everything just comes together at the last minute. It's like, well, no, sometimes it doesn't come together at the last minute.
And it's not happening.
No, it's not.
We're having a lot of trouble. I mean, certainly part of it is likely due to the fact that we're just not really familiar with it, and we're trying to get up and running with it as soon as possible, and so we're not spending tons of time reading documentation and watching tutorials and all that kind of stuff. We're just kind of hitting the ground running.
We've had a little bit of trouble on that front.
This is a much better test. Okay. I should put that like on a 2-second timer.
Spawn actor. It's the spawn actor. Oh.
Freaking
Yeah, was it? Well, it is this node.
Amazing.
Found it. Yay! You just dig.
It wasn't actually a systemic problem. It's really good news.
And you. Woo! Okay. That's the game. Kind of the game. That was the game, and then that was the whole thing. That was the whole thing. Now we're just back to not having enough time, instead of it also being impossible. 2 weeks on the idea, and then you'll never touch it again. So I mean, this is sort of the shot for this idea to live and die. And so you go through the arc of getting very excited about something, and then going like, oh, actually, no, it's just gonna be stillborn in a way, and then you'll move on and never make that thing. And that, it doesn't matter how long you're in the industry. That's just a bummer. Just get excited about something, and then it doesn't end up happening. But hopefully, it will all come together, and we will make something awesome, and we will have a very hilarious playtest where we'll make Tim do all the stupid stuff in front of everyone.
Why are you punching? Lock me pressure.
Jared, tell us what you're doing.
I'm kicking this guy's ass. It's really neat seeing all the systems kind of working, sort of. A lot more than they were yesterday.
Yeah, progress. Since I had the basic multiplayer working, we wanted to extend that to other aspects of the game. So we did that, and we got it in, and it's working pretty good. We're looking for Tucker, but he must be at the beer party.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, he is.
Unfortunate timing.
We were
You always lose out to beer when it comes to Tucker.
We got Tucker.
We went.
Whoa!
Holy shit.
You just punched me out of to outer space.
And you hit somebody in the air while they're jumping, they go flying across the map.
That's something you wanted, right? Wasn't that like
well, I don't think it was expected. Oh. I think it just happened, and probably going to keep it because it's awesome. Derek, are we going to keep it?
Yeah.
Good. And there's a lot of funny accidents in this game. It's cool. Or maybe they're all just really intentional, and Derek's a genius.
Definitely not that. I don't know. Like, I think somewhere along the way, the original vision was obsolete. It's way more fun and interesting to fly around as little spirits than I thought it would be. Like, I thought that would be just a boring part of the game. I guess maybe it's the contrast of different traversal elements. Like, you have really slow lumbering guys that actually can do stuff, but then when you fly out, you're completely mobile and can go anywhere. So I don't know. It's totally evolved.
It's the combat. I think the combat still feels a little random, just like I'm flailing around. We can work on tuning that a little bit, hopefully over the next few days, to make it feel a little more strategic.
Yeah.
I got a crash.
Crash.
Did you get any tech?
I tried to get in one of these debug pots and it crashed.
Yeah, next bits I hope to get in some of the game loop where you can actually kill the base and win or lose. So you could actually start and finish a game. Like we don't really have that in. Right now you can just wail on each other forever, so that's the next bit to hit.
So, cool. All right. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Have a good night.
So, so the pigment spawn location. So get ground location below is in reality just project pointer navigation, but that's because there is a nav mesh down there. There's a nav mesh down there. I'm just gonna go very slowly.
What is it on?
Wait, is this a nav mesh? Or? Yeah. There it is. Look at this.
What's this surface?
It's the underworld.
Also, you don't drink coffee.
What?
You don't drink coffee.
That's not true. Even if it wasn't true before, it definitely needs to be true now. Not that like other people didn't have work to do today, right? But we found out this morning that Ryan wasn't going to be able to make it in today. For me, just personally, like, I felt like anytime I didn't know something or was sort of unsure about something, I could just quickly like look over to him and like
ask, and like losing that was a little disorienting. I already have so much stress, just completely independent of what anyone else is doing, from the fact that there's only a day left, that it's messing with my head a little bit. Okay, I'll find this, I'll send it to you, and then I'll keep working on the thing.
Cool.
What's going on, honestly?
It's not really a good time to talk, but basically it's just with Ryan being out today unexpectedly, we just have a little bit more, there was a little bit more work to do to like place all of the finished assets.
Okay.
So Ryan was sort of responsible for taking all of the completed stuff and putting them in like the level proper. Textures or materials that needed to be put in, VFX, stuff like that. And so that's kind of being taken over a bit by Asif for today. He's currently replacing the car wash white box with the big car wash machine that I finished last night.
That was the most complicated machine too, right?
Definitely the most complicated. I was up till 3.
It's a lot. I'm asking a lot of everybody, and you know, we cut a ton of stuff over the last 2 weeks, and there's still a lot to do.
Well, is it mostly just sort of tweaking the gameplay experience at this point?
No, it's finishing the gameplay experience. It's crazy. It's like it's really, really, really hard to scope. I mean, you can know that you have 2 weeks and have a sense of like what it means to simplify, but I don't know. I mean, this is sort of the part where my inexperience is sort of catching up to me. I just wanted to like, I don't know, do something that I thought was big and special while I had the opportunity, because all these people will go back to making games, and I never will.
See that say? No more time. It means no more time.
Happy last day, everybody. No matter what happens, it's over after today. Let me look at what's in progress. So the Periscope camera is messed up.
We'll deal with it.
All right, hold up. Let's get through all this stuff. Cameras for end screen in the playground. That's on you. I need to check on the tennis flow because there was not a press button step happening at all last night. Figure out that flow.
That's not a small amount of work to get that room coming down.
It's not a huge amount. We can find a way to do that. I think we can find a way to do that.
I think playing through would be a really great idea because we probably have a bunch of small things that we actually do need to address.
Yes.
Because the scenarios probably have ways in which you can break them.
Yep.
That we...
Don't know.
Yep.
All right. Who wants to play? Everybody is scrambling. We're actually pretty good on pure content, so we have like most of our models in, which is nice because Tazio and Will can go through and focus on polish and effects and things like that, which is awesome. How's everybody else doing? How are the rest of the teams doing?
Well, same place.
Same place. Okay.
Yeah, well, Derek had a little bit of a freak out earlier, but he was like, "Dude, I'm freaking out." Okay, now let's just figure it out. So it was very momentary and not terribly exciting.
What was he freaking out about?
Yeah, made a crazy decision to do the water mechanic. Seemed like we could squeeze it in with our schedule, and so we're going for it.
I'm trying to make the spirits barf water.
It was pretty late last night, and knew I had to make a call, and so I made a call, and so now here we are.
So now, like the win condition is going to be you have to spray water on your opponent's kiln until it goes out?
Yes.
As opposed to just whacking it with a sword?
Yeah.
Probably makes more sense.
We'll see. It is a bit of a changeover. Luckily, I was just starting on the damaging the kiln and destroying it to make a victory or loss condition. So the fact that it's filled with fire now and you put it out with water, it saves me from doing that, so it isn't a total loss.
Oh.
But yeah, it's definitely heads down and crank.
You got pink rocks. Oh my god, you get critters! You got adorable two-legged bicorns. You've got, oh my god. I should go in more often. This is awesome. That's a really well, you just sucked them up like Luigi. That's awesome. You can't hear me. You're talking on, you have headphones on.
I can hear you.
Do all those attachments mean something?
Yep. You can kind of get information about the different traits: speed, defense, size, and aggression. And so
The down red triangle means that this individual is going to be really low on that. So I know when I get there, he's going to have small horns. He's got small horns. And then if I go over to this one that's got a red up triangle, he's going to have big horns. It's a quick way to try to locate the individuals in the world that match what you're trying to do with your selection. So yeah, I can't really judge the sim stuff because I'm not playing it in that way. I'm kind of just playing it to listen to sounds and find the stuff I'm working on and make sure it's working properly. But it's fun to just run around and suck up animals and food. It's interesting what you end up with when you just get a bunch of dudes with different skill sets together and put a time pressure on them. You don't have time to nitpick anything. You just have to kind of go with what you come up with, and hopefully it's cool. And you know, luckily here it is.
Finger guns and walking away. Finger guns and backing away. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Bye, Tucker.
Right. You can film me if you want. From my perspective, the Jedi are evil. That's a good line.
It's
Just say
so
how you're
not
feeling.
true.
It's significantly better than 1 and 2.
I'm not sure. To be perfectly honest, like I haven't seen any of them since they came out. So I just remember by the time I got to the third one, I'm like, surely they would have fixed some of the fundamental garbage problems of the last two, and they had not. So. All right,
It's
are
like
you
a
playing?
display of force. It's like
Hey everybody, let's play our video game.
Yay!
Yay!
Where are the hands?
Prop. All right. Stand in the circle facing the stump and press the button to continue.
So perfect.
It's great.
Good job.
All right.
Wow, that's awesome. Nice VFX, dude.
All right. Kill the baby. Kill the baby. Oh, wait, did that camera not work?
Yeah, it didn't.
That was a bad camera.
It's a bad camera.
Well, that was working earlier.
It was.
Oh, okay.
Okay, got
Two friends got the controllers. Ah! Got shocked. All right, someone else.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Hopefully this works better than before.
Yay! That was a really good jump rope session. Turn! Faster! 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 Slower!
Oh no. Oh no. What are you doing?
All right, this is still too hard.
Oh, I never guessed that. No, there's no task to make. Okay, that's why. Make a task, I will happily do. I'm sorry.
Yay!
Yeah, I'll make those more forgiving.
Yeah, basically it's just the zones should, when you're out of the zone, it shouldn't drop as fast. Yeah.
That was pretty good. There's a couple things, but
yeah,
that was not bad.
All right, these are all pretty small things, so hopefully we can get done with this in like an hour.
Yay, it's over.
Yeah, kind of, pretty much. Tomorrow, I would say tomorrow is over after the company plays the game and Tim gets to play and stuff.
Is there anything you're worried about?
Not really. I mean, I think it's great. We just played it earlier. The reason I'm feeling so good about it is because we just played it earlier, and it's really good. It all came together. Yeah, it's a really good prototype.
Oh.
Oh man, the screen space reflections.
You didn't have nearly as dramatic arc
No, I'm
this
sorry.
time, Derek.
I'm sorry.
Very disappointed in you.
Yeah, it's okay.
We gave it to us.
Sure. Yeah, really?
Pass the torch.
Sure, he's fine.
I think Asif slept on the couch, and like that's something I told myself I would never do after Psychonauts 1. And I know he did. I mean, generally you don't want to crunch, right? It's a little different when it's AF and it's over a really short period of time. Overall, like crunch doesn't make for a better product. You want to do this for the team. You want to deliver for the team, and like that's kind of sometimes is a stronger driving goal than the creative nature of the work. And definitely in this one, I really wanted to execute really well for him. But like we need to play through, make sure you can play through a round and it works.
Okay, well, let's just see where we can get real quick, and then people can just make notes.
Like try each machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, man, we have it set up to where the entrance to the extruder is like behind, so you can't just throw it all the way.
Right.
Oh my God!
No! Oh, good.
Just a little burn.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Do you guys like the idea of even?
Oh no! Oh my God! All right, that's how that's getting in there. Yeah,
No,
that's
okay.
it.
So the way it works is that it sees if it's inside, but because TK just lets you go fucking through walls, it's like I'm inside the bowl now.
Man, we made a video game, you guys.
Yeah,
Look.
it's doing stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I would have a lot more to say, but I feel like a little brain dead right now. But trust me, I on the inside, I'm super excited, and this is amazing, and I can't believe we have this much in there. So thanks, you guys. Yeah. God, I'm so tired. But it's cool.
I'm learning a lot about Asif. That guy, God. And just watch him go through this like walk of fire. I like really feel for the guy, and I kind of want to like be like, you can do it. But I think he's getting a lot out of it. I really do.
All right, we'll do it real quick, We are gonna speed run the shit out of this. Was there anything else in here?
Go to main menu buttons.
You're gonna make this replicate? You didn't? That's fine. I don't care that much.
I don't know how to do that. Fucking don't look at me.
If by any some chance something is broken,
It's all amazing. It's wonderful. But yeah, we're done. It's a grandma's attic. It is basically like end of the project where you kind of shove everything in and you close the door and no one can open it again, because if you open it, it'd be like a giant avalanche of garbage that falls in your head and a bowling ball and a bunch of old clothes and things like that. So you just don't open that.
Oh no! What's the current mood, Asif? What are you doing?
It's 11:13 p.m. on the night before these things are due. Brian is getting as much stuff hooked up as time will permit. I am here for moral support, so I'll see how long I can hold out. What the?
Ta-da! There you go. Happy first game.
Thanks,
Happy
man.
first game.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I thought we were all alone. Where'd you guys come from?
Been here for 2 weeks.
I don't really know how to feel about not working on this anymore and going back to not working on a game. It's a good thing and a bad thing, because this is also extremely stressful, and I don't know how people manage it over longer periods of time with other people's money at stake.
Booze.
You know, clearly. I mean, I thought it was just a joke, but now I understand why everyone here drinks so much. So, soda.
Yeah, take off. I just submitted.
I actually have a question for you real quick before you go.
About me eating this cake.
No, I wanted to know how I can like grab a texture and like move it around on a smaller piece of geometry. Is that not an easy? Never mind. I didn't ask questions. But yeah, thanks, man. It's been real. Bing. Good night.
See ya.
I'm getting delirious now.
You should go home.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix these two things and then
God
I'll
bowls,
leave.
garnish counter.
What?
Are we allowed in the universe?
Oh, I thought you said, are we allowed in the universe? I was like, holy shit.